I wasn't planning to make a video about this, but I think we need to talk about it. A couple of days ago, James Gunn revealed his new Superman costume in his upcoming film through this photo, and the internet, in true internet fashion, couldn't decide whether they liked it or not. First of all, let me get my worthless opinion out of the way first. It looks okay. Now, I'm excited for this movie. Ever since they announced that James Gunn was directing it, I was like, cool, sweet, I'm on board. But this photo, it's questionable in several ways. One, why is the lighting so dark? Everyone's like, oh, I thought we're getting away from the Snyder bullshit of like the dark costumes. I want some vibrance. I want some colors. What the fuck are you complaining about? We can't even see the costume. It's like they put a pair of sunglasses in front of the camera. Like, what is there to even judge right now? But from what we can tell, let's break it down. Oh, that was so dumb. The S logo looks fine. I think it looked better than the other reveal photo that James Gunn did of just the logo by itself. That looked pretty sick. I don't know what happened here. It looks like Superman just crawled through an attic with like dust and cobwebs and shit. And that dusty battle-worn vibe, I think that's upsetting a lot of people because, again, we can't really tell what the costume actually looks like. The collar, the turtleneck collar. I'll be honest, I don't really like it. I like the exposed cheek, but I was gonna... What? Collarbones. I almost said cheekbones. The exposed collarbones, I feel like it's a bit more friendly. Whenever I see the collars up, it just looks very military and unfriendly. And I've had enough of militant Superman for my entire lifetime now. Get away, I just want a normal Superman. And I know when some people see the new 52 costume, they're like, bleh. I'm not like that. I think it could work. We just have to see it in motion and what he looks like standing up and just fighting aliens and whatever the fuck he's doing in this movie. Alright, the trucks slash undies slash shorts slash whatever the fuck you want to call them. Superman has them. And it's obvious that they obscured them in this photo for a reason. God, could you imagine the outrage if even like half the people who saw this image realized that he had trunks on? I could already see it. By people's reactions, you would have thought that they turned Superman into Hitler or something. I personally don't have a problem with it. It's very classic, and design-wise, it kind of breaks up the blue just taking over his entire body if he doesn't have the red underwear. Because you have like the big block of red as the cape, and then two big blocks of red as the boots, and you're just gonna have nothing, just like a belt. That it kind of looks weird sometimes. So yeah, I'm not against that. As long as it looks cool, it looks cool. I kind of wish they had the S curl in his hair, or at least a more prominent one, because I know people say that it's corny, but you have the underwear there. You might as well go all the way. Fuck it. Give him back the power where he can just shoot a little Superman out of his normal Superman hands. Yes, that was a real power, and yes, they should definitely bring that back. The texture or the fit or whatever you want to call it, I don't really mind it. It kind of reminds me of Superman's first costume when he first appeared on the Supergirl TV show. That looked pretty good. We don't need skin-tight spandex every fucking time that just strangles the actor's nipples and pecs and muscles, and they can barely fucking move, and they can only piss once a day because it takes 3 hours to get out of the costume. So I put up a YouTube community post about what everyone... Oh my god. So I put up a YouTube community post to see how people feel about the costume, and here are the results. So 7% of the results went to fugly, 34% of the votes went to fire, and 59% of the votes went to weird choice for a reveal photo, so I can't say. The reason why I put that third option is because that's exactly how I feel. But 34% for fire and 7% for fugly, it looks like a lot of people actually do like the costume. But not everyone, apparently. There's this article going around about the Zack Snyder collaborator who's criticizing the photo and the costume and all that. Here's a tweet. Who thought this was the best option for a first look? Really? I'm not joking. Speaking solely from the layout perspective, the pose, pulling his boot on, making the suit, chest, and arms look bulky and rubbery. By the way, are those trunks we're returning to? I'm asking for a friend. Those inflections are my own. First of all, I love how articles labeled him as Zack Snyder collaborator as if it's fucking Zack Snyder himself saying all this, or that like they were in cahoots and they both talked about this and he's representing the both of them. Come on, this guy worked with Zack Snyder for like a few projects. Let's fucking relax before we put him on the podium. Also, talk about being unprofessional. Jesus. This guy does not want to work in any Warner Bros. Project in the next 10 years or so. At least. And going back to my shitty thoughts, the pose isn't even the real problem. It's just the nature and the vibe of the photo. Like, where the hell is he? We have Brother Eye or Brainiac or whatever the fuck shooting a death ray at Metropolis, and Superman's putting on his boots being like, ah, these fucking human pussies can't do shit by themselves. Here I go again. And let's talk about the set, because this apartment does not look like an apartment a journalist could afford in a city like Metropolis. You got a big ass window wall, so good luck seeing anything on your television with that fucking massive sun glare. And you got this black marble flooring that looks like it belongs to Bruce Wayne instead of Clark Kent. And don't forget the hotel lobby ass chair in the middle of the room. It just looks weird. And I know these are all small nitpicks that no one really cares about and shouldn't care about, but all of this just contributes to just an overall weirder vibe of the photo. Like it's a professional cosplayer photo shoot. Like where's the coffee table? A comfy couch? Some bookshelves? Literally anything. And I love how James Gunn was like, fun fact, we did this all in camera. There was no post-editing or anything. What are we supposed to take from that? Like, I feel like that's not the flex he thought that was, because it just looks really weird. Anyway, I know they're slated to start filming outside now, so we'll probably get more on-set photos of the full costume in daylight. So we'll get a proper look and we can judge for ourselves when the time comes. And yes, just to reiterate, I am still very excited for this movie. I'm just trying to be funny here. Fucking don't come at me with your bullshit like, oh, what is this guy even talking about? Oh, who cares? I don't care. That's the thing, okay? Let me know what you think about the costume and let me know if there's anything else I should talk about. Check out my second channel for random vlogs. Check out my Instagram. Check out my letterboxd and my music. And that's it.
10-1-5 in the open night. I can't help it.